welcome to a new video of Growth Traders. So yes, we have our monthly expiry tomorrow, and yes, it is a very good time for us to plan a proper trade for tomorrow. And also we have the Fed rate hike decision tonight that is going to influence the US markets. And yes, based on that, we may observe a good sharp movement tomorrow in our Indian markets, right? So if you see the current price action on Bank Nifty, so the price is heading higher, right? It is heading higher with some profit booking in between. And if you look at the current market structure, the price has taken support at around the 45,600 uh, support level, and from here we observe some upside movement today. Right, so yes, the price somehow closed above 46,000, but what needs to be noted here is that the intraday momentum on the upward direction was very weak. Right, it was a very slow movement with big swings in between. Right, so 100-point swings were very common today. Right, so yes, those who had traded today in options, especially option buying, I am not sure whether you have made a decent amount of gains or not, because it was not a great market. Right? If you come to the chart of Nifty, so Nifty did head higher in the first half, but it turned range bound with a sharp profit booking in our second half. But the markets closed not so badly, right? It closed way above its day low, right? So if you look at the daily time frame of Nifty, so what can be observed here is post 3 days of sideways to mildly bearish movement, we observe some upside movement. Now, as you know, the market needs to give one more pullback to head higher, right? So this pullback may come in the form of an intraday fall or in the form of a gap down as well. So say for example, if the markets open gap down tomorrow, so we need to observe where the market opens, right? So if it opens anywhere below 45,900 or 45,800, then we can actually try for a gap filling trade, right? Yes, I still have a bullish view on the market, and what I feel is that if the market opens gap down, then most likely we will fill the gap and head higher, right? So this is the area of interest. You can see it is around the 45,800 mark. So if the market opens around here, you can try for this gap fill trade for sure. And if the momentum is strong enough, we can observe the prices to head higher till the last high, right? A similar kind of a setup can be observed in Nifty as well. You can see here is one gap that is pending to be filled. So if the market tomorrow opens somewhere here, right, say for example 19,700, so probably 70 points lower, then this gap will also get filled up, and the markets may start heading higher from here, and then we can try for this upward movement capturing, right? So yes, you can definitely keep an eye on this trade setup. Also, if you had to look at the sectors, right, so Nifty IT, you can see it has not closed very well. Post the Infosys results, the IT sector turned quite bearish, and of course it remained range bound after that huge gap down opening, right? So you can't really say where the market is heading until and unless we have a clear picture from Nasdaq, right? So if you look at the Nasdaq as of now, as of shooting this video, it is 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So if you look at the Nasdaq's chart, so Nasdaq seems to be heading down with a very weak momentum. It is not any alarming situation. If you look at the Dow Jones is, it has, I guess, it has filled this gap. It has opened gap down, and it is heading higher from there, right? So ultimately, we need to wait for the Fed results before we come to any conclusion. Fed decision, just to correct that. Now, as you can see, this was my view on our market. If the market opens gap down, decent gap down, we can try for this gap fill, and of course take confirmation from the first 15 minutes candle. If the market develops some uptrend, if it seems like yes, the buyers are gaining control, then you can go for a long entry, right? Now coming to the OI data, so as of now, if you switch to the 27th July, so on the Nifty, what can be observed is that a huge amount of call shorts were squared off today. That is why the markets may have uh, may have gone higher in our first half, right? Also, we don't really see any clear data. You can see the bars are quite small actually. Also, if you look at this data, what can be observed is that there is some decent amount of put writing going on at 19,800, 19,750, and so on, right? So, if you look at Bank Nifty, if you switch to Bank Nifty, you can clearly see that calls were exited, puts were written today, right? Even at 45,900 and 46,100, there is a decent amount of put writing. Although this data can change if there is something uncertain from the Fed meeting, right? If I switch to the August expiry, monthly expiry contract, here also you can probably observe that puts are being added at 46,000. Of course, this is a very important mark. If I switch to the August expiry, August 31st expiry on Nifty, you can see puts are being written at 19,800. So yes, this is what I feel. The markets, even if they open gap down, the markets may fill this gap. And yep, if it opens gap up, then I'm not really sure where the market is heading as per the current price action, because this price action is in the sort of a retracement mode, right? So yeah, the markets may retrace one more time before heading upwards, right? So of course, that is the reason why we need to wait for a proper trend confirmation if the markets open gap up. If the market opens flat, of course, we'll wait for a trend development at least for the first 30 minutes, after which we can plan any trade. There is one more thing to consider, that since it's a very major event, uh, this can turn out to be a seller's expiry as well. The markets may remain range bound, right? So that is also a point of concern. The actual movement that we are expecting, that may come on Friday or the next week, right? So yes, be careful unless and until you have a clear confirmation on the charts. Do not go for any entry, right? Yes, if there is a significant gap up or a gap down opening, the scenario may change, right? So that is what we need to consider. And yep, that's my view for the market tomorrow. See you in our next video. Meanwhile, if you want to join our community, that is absolutely free. Just use the link in the description. Thank you. See you in our next video.